right, here is a much anticipated video review. It's the 3A Deluxe Bumblebee. It is kind of an action figure. It's smaller than a lot of their really nice pieces in the past have been, 12, 13, 14 inches tall. And while they have been posable, with different pieces you could add on to make them look cool on your shelf, this is designed to be more of it specifically says on the box, not a toy, and I would not give this to young children, but more of an action figure-sized character, solid metal body. Like, there's a lot of, he's way heftier than you would expect from a figure this size. Just to give you a quick comparison, he is about just a smidge over, about 8 inches tall to the top of his helmet, just smidge over with his antenna. And what that looks like, I was going to bring in the MP of the movie Bumblebee, and I forgot that he's at work. But I do have, just to give you an idea about how big he is, here he is with the Voyager Optimus from the movie. Which, exciting news, they just announced when we figured it was coming, they're going to be doing a deluxe version like this of this Optimus design, which I cannot wait for because I bet it's going to be fantastic. But yeah, they started teasing that one this weekend. But yeah, here he is. It's Bumblebee. Obviously. Movie accurate. You can move the doors around a little bit. And I really do like this design. I like his big, thick lower legs and the big shoe-type feet. He's just a neat Bumblebee. I wish we'd gotten a Bumblebee that looked more like this throughout all the movies. It does not transform, which is, for something like this, I don't mind it so much. It's very screen accurate in look. Just the sculpting, all the little details inside the arm. It's a very neat piece. And like I said, it'd be cool if something that could look this good as a robot and transform into a beetle. But as it is, I'm happy with this. This is a really nice looking Bumblebee. The main feature here in robot mode, I guess he's not going to go to other mode, but feature on the toy, aside from the posability, is if you push his little button, there's a little Autobot symbol on his head, his eyes light up. And actually it's actually showing up pretty well here on the video. Sometimes in the bright lights, sometimes light up effects don't work, but you can see, so his eyes light up. And how that functions is, if you pull up the top of his head, there's just a little LED unit here. You can see both the two LEDs on there. With a button right there, and then you just put two LR44 batteries. It's the same kind that go in Masterpiece Optimus Primal. I think they go by AG13, LR44, They had another thing on the pack I have. Energizer sells them as 357s, but you can find them fairly commonplace. You just got to know what to look for. But yeah, so let's put his brain back in with his LEDs. Well, line it up. There you go. And then his cap just goes back on. There's two pegs here in the front and a peg hole in the back on his head that you just put it back together here. And make sure that the button goes in front of the Autobot logo goes in front of the button on the assembly device. So real easy to swap the batteries in and out on his head. Posability-wise is insane. Like, the wheels can spin. They're rubber tires here on his shoulder. Like I said, these can move a little bit on their hinges. The shoulder armor comes out if you need it for any sort of posability issues, but he's got rotating joints up inside there. You can see this little rotating shoulder piece here that also lifts up as you lift the shoulder and moves around there. He's got side-to-side abs, ab crunch here, back. Like I said, and it's with metal all throughout. He's very, very hefty. The hip armor also comes out a little bit. You can pull it out and down if you want to do more action features with the legs. Just be careful you're not rubbing up against some of the detail, because you don't want to mess up. There's some amazing paintwork. There's some hoses here and some detail here in his abdomen. You got a little bit of a rotational joint there. And what's really cool is some of the gearing systems. Like, we already showed a little bit of what's going on up in the shoulder. And a very nice kind of scuffy, dirty paint job all over. Arms have a hinge there at the arm. The forearm rotates. It's squeaking a little bit, which is a little scary, but you can rotate that around. There is a ball joint at the wrist to let you move the hand around, and you can swap the fists out. We'll show those in a minute. But also, if you look at... go back up there, shoulder armor. There we go. If you watch the knees, as you bend his knee, there's like a little gearing hinge system in here. So as you bend his knee up, it pulls his kneecap around. It kind of exposes some mechanical bits inside the leg. This little piece comes up. He's got forward and back on his feet. He's got side to side on his feet. His toes can fold up. But just a nice. I love the light on the heel. Very, very detailed and a very cool looking robot. Hold on, this came loose here. There we go. Nope, I was being overly careful. Like I felt like a little bit of resistance folding this back up, and I just needed to push just a smidge harder. I just didn't want to risk snapping or breaking anything because despite they are nice, he's very hefty, he's very solid. But you do a piece like this, you do want to be a little careful with because there are some small plastic pieces that you don't want to risk snapping or breaking. Yeah, there's a quick little turnaround of him. Nice spine detail here. I didn't get his abdomen crunch all lined up back away, but you can see the spine detail underneath there. Very nicely painted, very nice layering of the panels. And it's just a really fantastic looking Bumblebee. His little, you can flip his antenna up a little bit. You don't want to push him too far. There's an instruction specifically say only go past a certain angle, but if you want to fold them down, you can do that. It's entirely up to you what you want to do with his antenna. Customization-wise, there's some extra parts. One of the first things, he does have a stand, and once you snap this piece in, there is a way to get under here and kind of push it, but like it's pretty much snapped in there. So if you're not planning on using the stand and you just want to store it in the box, maybe consider not assembling it because I'm pretty sure you can get it back apart. I have not been able to do so easily, and I don't want to risk breaking it. But there's a stand piece here. This little piece right here, you have to lift it up, and you can slide it up and down and then push this lever down to lock it, and that will secure this in place. This piece right here, it looks like it's kind of a ratcheting hinge, but you can only move it by popping it out. It doesn't ratchet, which is good for the secureness of the piece, but you do have to, if you want to change the angle of it, you do have to pull it out and put it back in. But it does hold very securely once it's in place. And you can also, if you push this down, you can extend the base itself as well. And it works with Bumblebee. There's a little panel right here on the back of his waist. You just pull it out here. And you can pop him, plug this into his back. Now, unfortunately, because of the way this is set up, like this is as far forward as this goes. So even if you put him in a straight pose here with the top part all the way collapsed, like at no point, he doesn't, if you just want this as extra support for his, for displaying him in robot mode, he hovers. Which may be good if you just want him on the shelf and need to get him a little bit of height on him. But you really want to put him in some kind of action kicky pose if you're doing this up here, because otherwise it's like maybe he's jumping forward. But yeah, because otherwise it looks kind of silly of him just hovering there and there. But yeah, he's jumping forward to attack a Decepticon. And if you want him to attack Decepticons, well, they got you covered. Let's go ahead and get this off of here. Put his little cover plate back on. Before we get to the armored up mode, he does have, if you want to make him look, because originally, like a lot of the early toys did not match what he looked like in the movie with the doors folded down here, because I feel like that was probably something that got changed during the production, and the early sketches had him with the door wings. So a lot of product for the movie came out with Bumblebee having those door wings. They included those, including this one. So if you want to, like, there's a hinge here that you can move this around a little bit, but you can pull these doors off at this little hinge here. They just slide straight out. And if you want him to have the fully open doors, whether you're doing the mid-transformation scene from when he's walking to the garage or just want to have them, if you prefer the look of the doors, you can give him the wide open door wings. And you can have them up like this. You can, again, using that hinge, you can get them to come sit down a little lower, so they're still there, but they're not quite as up above the shoulder line. But it's entirely up to you. If you prefer that look, they included those. And then he does have, he does not have the blade, and I don't know if, I know sometimes 3A will do, like, if you order it from this web store, you'll get this exclusive part. I don't know if they did that for this guy, if there is an exclusive version that comes with the blade. But he does come with his gun and battle mask. And again, the gun's very neatly detailed, and I like that you can even kind of see his fingers. I didn't catch that in the movie, but you can see, like, it actually looks like the gun has grown out of his arm, because there's his forearm armor folded up back here, and like even there, like it's like his fingers split apart and are sitting along the inside of the gun. That's a neat little detail that I probably wouldn't have noticed had I not played with this figure. But yeah, so you can pop this arm off at the forearm. There's a little peg here, and attach his gun arm. Just slide it on up. And now he's got his weapon arm. And then he does have his masthead, which again has the antenna that can fold forward. You want to be careful. This one's especially a little tight. You don't want to risk snapping those, but you can give him his little hornet head. And it just pops, this head just pops off at the ball joint. Like that. And then you pop this head on like this. And there you have Bumblebee ready to fight Decepticons. He has the exact same gimmick in that if you push his Autobot logo, his eyes light up. And again, it's not quite as obvious here. You can see his blue eyes glowing there under the honeycombed eye visor. So you can get them all ready for battle. And this is a good place, you can have him extend his arm out and put him on the stand in some sort of action pose where he's going after a Decepticon. Point his feet, get him going. So it's kind of cool. And I did mention he has alternate hands. He comes with the fists installed. We'll go ahead and swap this off. And this is the exact same thing as the other head. You pop this off. There's the little piece that comes out with the LEDs on it, with the batteries in there. So and then you just put that back into his head. And again, same 2 pegs in the front, 1 peg in the back, put it back together, and then his eyes light up. So his hands wise, let's go ahead and put his head back on. Want your head? There you go. And then put this arm back on. There we go. And you can give him, so he comes with the fists. And then he's also got like some relaxed hands, just kind of casual hands, and then some open palm hands, like maybe saying stop or whatever. And it's just a ball joint. You just pop a hand off. And this scares me a little bit. These are a little tight, but you can pop on a casual hand, and you get one of each for each side. Or you can pop on his stop what you're doing right now hand. Again, be careful. You don't want to damage the edges of the armor here, but oh, that's the wrong side. And this is the only part of this that scares me. Like snapping these on is a little difficult. And I'm not sure, well, I guess he can kind of say stop. He can wave is really more of what that is doing, because of the ball joint. There is a ball joint there, but it doesn't really let him, because of the way the armor is. I mean, I guess maybe if you do it like, nope. Because of the way the forearm armor is, you can bend it down a little bit, but you can't really bend it back at the wrist to have him say stop. But I mean, I guess he still could be saying stop like this, but it looks like it's more of a put your hand up and wave type of thing. But yeah, this makes me even more excited for the Optimus. This is a fantastic version of Bumblebee from the movie. Again, doesn't transform, but I can live with that. It would be nice if we could get one that looked this good and transformed, but how licenses work, I don't think 3i has the I think like from what I understand, like whenever they license out Transformers, it's always for non-transforming versions of the characters, and because the transforming versions are always for Hasbro to do themselves, which makes sense. I get it. But a very nice, very lovely Bumblebee. I love his legs. His leg design is fantastic. But yeah, super happy to check him out. There is 3A Deluxe Bumblebee.